Hi, my name is Abida. If you're doing well, today I'll be taking you to infinity and beyond with my first impressions and review of Lightyear. So it's the new movie by Disney and Pixar. If you grew up on the Toy Story films like I did, you would not need any sort of introduction to who Buzz Lightyear is. Now, this movie is actually separate from the Toy Story movie, even though yes, it's based on the character. Okay, so just to put things simply, this movie is the movie that Andy from Toy Story watched that made him fall in love with the character and then buy the toy. Yeah, it's pretty meta if you think about it, but let me just go through this with you. So I think if you're going into Lightyear expecting it to feel like Toy Story, especially if you grew up on Toy Story, you might be a little bit let down. Yes, 100%, this movie is meant for kids who grew up in the 90s. I mean, we're attached to the character, we would want to see the character. I don't think the average kid today would care so much about who Buzz Lightyear is, right? I am expecting the theaters to be full of people like us who grew up watching Toy Story, who possibly have kids and bring out kids to the movies. But it's nothing like that. That being said, you don't really need to be a Toy Story fan to catch this movie too. You don't need to watch all 4 Toy Story movies to also get this movie. Lightyear is really a movie of its own. As much as some fans might not be happy with that, I actually really like that sentiment, because if you think about it, this is a character that we've known for 27 years. It feels like we know the guy, we grew up with the guy, but there's still so much that we don't know. There's a whole other life, a whole other crazy adventure that we've not seen, and I like that. It's like the Toy Story universe is slowly expanding, and I'm a fan of that. And I think that's what this movie does really well, is that it brings in characters that we all know and love. We grew up watching them, so there's a lot of nostalgia there, but they give you something new to work with. It's something fresh, it's something different. So it's not a rehash, right? If you come into this movie thinking, yeah, it's just gonna be another Toy Story type of vibe, it's not. Same characters, different characterization, simply put. Okay, so the main gist of the movie is that Buzz Lightyear goes on a mission, and what feels like a few minutes actually is a few years for those living on that planet. With every hero story, you need a villain. I'm not gonna say who the villain is. I feel like if you've watched Toy Story, you kind of already know who he is. So in order to complete his mission, Buzz Lightyear comes together a new crew of people who are, complete bumbling fools. They are just unhelpful. They are rookies, and if you know anything about Buzz, you know that he's just a one-man team. It's I'm doing this myself. I mean, even Buzz is completely different, right? Firstly, he's voiced by Chris Evans instead of Tim Allen. Suddenly he has hair, he's all McDaddied up. Suddenly Buzz Lightyear's sexy. Who said that? Not me. Anyway.
This video is brought to you by Secret Lab. Here at Geek Culture, we love our Secret Lab chairs, especially the all-new 2022 Titan Evo with its revamped 4-way lumbar system for enhanced back support. If PU Leather 2.0 isn't your cup of tea, then consider the all-new Soft Weave, even more soft and breathable than before. The chair comes in more colors, including this lovely frost blue. The Titan Evo is even magnetized, allowing the head pillow to stick on the headrest. Of course, there are even more new features, so do check them out at secretlab.co.
So this Buzz Lightyear is a complete deviation from the Buzz Lightyear you see in the Toy Story films, and I like that. The reason why I like it is because they make it seem more human. It makes Buzz feel a lot more believable, in the Toy Story films, whenever they go through something really dangerous, yeah, it's emotional, whatever, but at the end of the day, they're still toys. They're not even alive in the first place, so they're not really dead. They're not really alive, so even when they die, are they really dead? Gets philosophical up in here. But because this movie makes Buzz seem like an actual human being whose actions breed consequences, when he gets himself in danger, you're oh my god, is he gonna live? Is he gonna survive? And that's part of the big action. I don't think there's ever a lull moment in this movie too. There's just so much action, so much adventure. If I'm being honest, it gives me a little bit of Star Wars vibes or Star Trek vibes. Now, I know you're probably wondering, Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear or Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear? I'm so sorry, Chris, baby. But I gotta say Tim Allen still wins, and I think that's just because I don't think anyone can really replicate or replace the iconic Buzz Lightyear that Tim Allen brought to life. I mean, he was that character for 27 years. Like, who can ever beat that? But that's not to say that Chris isn't a good Buzz. I think he brings his own flavor to the character. Chris was really able to play this really like man of duty, this like really straightforward guy, no nonsense. And if you think about it, it's kind of like his character Captain America. He's all about honor, all about doing things right, and Chris does that well. So that's the Buzz that we get in this movie. Now, I think the star of the show is Socks. It's the cute little cat that hangs out with Lightyear in the trailers, and he is a big part of the movie too. I think it's pretty damn clear that Socks is gonna be like every viewer's favorite character. He's like the Grogu to the Mandalorian, so that's like Socks and Buzz Lightyear. I don't want to say too much because I think I'll just let you fall in love with the character itself, but if you leave the cinema without having an inch of love for Socks, you have issues. But let's talk about that big bad villain for a bit. I mean, if you grew up on the movies, you know who Zurg is. Let me just tell you this, whatever you know about that guy, out the window. Like, you think you know a guy, you think you know the main story between Buzz and Zurg, you don't, okay? There's something completely new here. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's like an insane twist. Like, my jaw was to the floor because I did not expect that. So let's talk about new characters. Okay, so we have Alicia Hawthorne, voiced by Uzo Aduba, who was previously in Orange is the New Black. And then we also have AZ Hawthorne, which is the granddaughter of Alicia, voiced by Keke Palmer. We also have Mo Morrison, who is voiced by Taika Waititi. These are like the main crew, the main people that you see Buzz interact with throughout the whole movie. Now, I freaking love the friendship between Alicia and Buzz. It's very like co-workers turned best friend type of vibe. You'll see where and how Buzz even came up with the whole idea of like to infinity and beyond. It's like, it's really heartwarming. Alicia is also an LGBT character, which is beautiful to see. I mean, we love seeing representation. And then we have Izzy, she's really young. I think in the movie it mentioned that she was 22 or like 23 years old. She's still figuring herself out, but she loves and adores her grandmother, and she just wants to be the next Alicia. So you see Buzz and Alicia have this like best friend relationship, and then you see Buzz and Izzy have this very small like mentorish relationship. I think it's really beautiful that we see different types of relationships in this movie, and it's not just like one standard like man falls in love with woman. Oh, Taika as Mo, he is pretty much Taika Waititi. I don't know, like when I watched that film, I saw the characterization of Mo, I thought, yeah, this could be Taika. Just funny, clumsy, makes mistakes, unapologetic. I think he is he's a character that really grows onto you as the film progresses. And oh my god, how can I forget Dale Souls as Darby, who is this like really badass grandma in the team. She's an amazing character. She's really tough. She's really salty. You see her interact with Mo more. I think Darby and Mo provide a lot of like comic relief in this film, but that's pretty much it. And I think they challenge Buzz to grow. They challenge Buzz to change the way he thinks about how people should be or how people should behave. And yeah, I mean, they make a really beautiful team together. It's like a big band of misfits that come together to do a space mission, and I don't think we can hate on that. In all, I think Lightyear is a very enjoyable film. If you love the space genre, you will love this film. If you love Star Wars or Star Trek, you'll find little bits and pieces here and there. Chris Evans really brought like a brand new version of Buzz that we've never seen, and I like that. I mean, I think there's so much potential for Lightyear to be a big franchise too. I mean, I would love to see Buzz and Izzy and the rest of the gang go on crazy space adventures and like, I don't know, like Star Trek level adventures, who knows? I think it'll be amazing if Disney and Pixar also taps into like all the other Toy Story characters. I would love to see a Woody film. I would love to see a Jessie film. I would actually really love that. And maybe even Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. I mean, I don't know, that'd be a really cute romance film. Anyways, these are my thoughts about Lightyear. Let me know in the comment section below if you love it, if you hate it. I'm more than happy to have a chat with you. Remember to like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on our social media accounts. This is Abida signing off.